Hi everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. Darktoylord here. Today what we're going to be doing, it's more going to be like a retro review because we're going to be taking a look at this Deluxe Big Guy from the Big Guy in Rusty the Boy Robot show, or toy line. And the reason why I say it's going to be more of a retro review is because this figure actually came out about 15 years ago, around 1999 2000, through 2001 was when this show was on TV. So here we go. Big Guy and Rusty, if you're not familiar with it, like I mentioned, this is based on a cartoon that came out. It ran for 2 seasons between 1999 and 2001. And the cartoon was based on a 1995 comic book by Frank Miller and was released by Dark Horse. So if you're unfamiliar with the story, essentially you have this corporation called Quark, and Big Guy, this giant robot here, was their military robot to fight big monsters that are attacking the city. And he had been in service for 10 years. The Big Guy itself is piloted by this guy right here. And when they decided it was time to decommission him, the newest technology was Rusty, the boy robot. So Rusty has the mentality of a child, is artificially intelligent, but has the mentality of a child. Doesn't really know what it is to be a hero. So needed Big Guy to come out of retirement essentially and partner up with Rusty so he can teach him what it is to be a hero. All right, so I actually had this figure back in the day when it first came out, and I loved it. Then I, much like I used to do, living in an apartment, having very limited space, when I found my toy collection was getting too big, I would sift through my toys, sell a whole bunch of them, just make room for the new toys. And this is one of those figures that I sold. At the time, it didn't bother me much at all. But as time went on, it kind of ate at me little by little. And then I got to the point where I was just kicking myself in the ass constantly, wishing that I never sold him. So for some reason, it just got into my head recently that I had to have him right now. So I went on eBay, I found him, I bought him, and we're going to do a little review on him. He's actually still factory sealed, so some people might say that I shouldn't open him at all. But realistically, I have no intentions of selling him again. So I am going to open him up so I can play with him, so I can put him on the shelf. Taking a look at the front of the packaging, we have Big Guy and Rusty the Boy Robot logo up here, left-hand corner. He is electronic, so up here it says try me, press the button. I'm going to hold off till I actually get him out of the packaging. You see the Big Guy right here, his weapons up here. His arm actually detaches, and I'm not sure if it's supposed to be detached in the box, but it is. Pilot down here, if memory serves me correctly, his name is Dwayne. And then Rusty, bottom right hand corner. Flip him over here to the side. Again, Big Guy and Rusty logo. There's a picture of the Big Guy's back opening up so you can see the cockpit. Then over here you can see one of the reasons why the arm does come off is that Rusty attaches like so. There's actually a better picture of it on the back of the box. So looking at the back of the box, see a big picture of the Big Guy, little balloons with all the phrases that he says. A drawing here, top right hand corner, it looks like a clip from the show. And it goes on to tell you all the features of the toy. So you push the button in the chest, eyes light up, and he says his catchphrases. His right arm opens up and he has machine guns inside. His left arm pops off and Rusty attaches to it. So in the cartoon, what actually happened to his right arm. In the cartoon, I remember he was attacking an alien. The alien damaged his arm and he had to pull it off. And then he attached Rusty to his arm and used Rusty as a weapon. Over here on the right, you see another picture of the cockpit open up, and then Dwayne the pilot inside. Down here at the bottom, different toys that were available. So there was a 6-inch version of the Big Guy. There was a flying version of the Big Guy. And then this guy over here, the 7-inch Argo. So this is disappointing because, let me zoom in here. This guy actually looks pretty awesome. However, this is an unreleased toy. Unfortunately, the 7-inch Argo never saw production, which was very unfortunate because definitely would have enjoyed having that one as well. Okay, on the other side of the box, we have a little description of the story itself. So, in the not-so-distant future, 2 top-secret robots, Big Guy and Rusty the Boy Robot, working for the U.S. government, are called upon to defend the world against evil forces that have created mutant robots and other creatures from out of this world. Relying upon massive weaponry, nuclear power, and human and artificial intelligence, the two work hand in hand, battling seemingly invincible forces primed to take over the Earth. Now, one thing that it doesn't say, and I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, is that yes, the two of them are paired together. Big Guy is teaching Rusty how to be a hero. But the funny thing about it is that Rusty, being artificially intelligent, doesn't know the Big Guy is piloted by Dwayne. He believes that the Big Guy is another artificially intelligent robot. So throughout the course of the series, they're trying to keep it a secret from Rusty because they don't want him to know that he is in fact piloted by a man. So let's go ahead, open this guy up, and take a closer look at the figure itself. Alright, here we have the instruction manual. It's just a single sheet, only printed on one side. This is the Deluxe 12-inch Big Guy. It goes on to show you where you put the batteries, all the different features the toy has. From the machine gun in his arm, putting the blaster in his hand. Looks like there's actually a little cannon in the hand as well, where you can attach Rusty, the opening cockpit. Alright, here is a close-up of Dwayne, the pilot, a 3-inch action figure. Limited articulation. He doesn't really need to move that much because he's going to be inside the robot the entire time anyway, but his head spins side to side, shoulders up and down, and then his legs up and down. He actually has knee articulation as well. No elbows, no wrists. Yeah, close up of his face. So nice sculpt on this little guy. They went to some nice detail work here with his harness. He's got insignia here on his chest, or it might be his military insignia. Here we have Rusty the Boy Robot. They did a very good job capturing his likeness. He looks exactly like he does in the cartoon. My main concern about Rusty, though, is that because they have him in a pose where it looks like he's flying and where he can also attach to Big Guy, but that's pretty much it. He's always going to have this arched back, which is kind of unfortunate because you're not going to be able to stand him on the shelf by himself. In regards to articulation, his head turns side to side, his arms go up and down, and that's pretty much it. You can pop the feet off to expose the tabs which you use to attach him to Big Guy. Alright, here is Big Guy's blaster. So one of the cool things about the style of science fiction is that, so it's supposed to be modern, well not modern, it's supposed to be advanced technology, but the style actually looks old. So it looks like something that that stepped out of the 40s maybe. And even the theme song for the cartoon itself, you kind of get that very retro old style feeling from it. All right, and here we have the big guy in all his glory. So I guess first let's go ahead and take a listen to his catchphrases. So there is a button right here on his chest. We're going to go ahead and press that.
Fire in the hole!
As you can see, his eyes light up as he speaks.
Candy grab. For the love of Mike. This is serious business. Fire in the hole!
And those are quotes directly from the cartoon. In regards to articulation, the head does not move at all. Shoulders go up and down. Nothing in this elbow because of the transformation, which we'll go into later. All the machine guns coming out of that elbow. Over here in the left arm, he has swivels at what would be the elbow area. And his wrist swivels as well. The legs swivel side to side at the knees. And that's pretty much it in regards to articulation. So his blaster goes right into his hand right here. It's a very tight fit. So kind of tough getting it all the way in. I'm not going to force it because I don't want to get it stuck in there forever. So this arm pops off right here. And you can see there are the ports that we attach Rusty to. So I already have his feet pulled off. We're just going to go ahead, plug him in right here. So Rusty being state-of-the-art technology, he actually has weapons that are kind of superior to the big guys. So he plugged him in and he used him as a gun. So Rusty actually has technology that's supposed to be far superior to the big guys. So when the big guy's arm became damaged in the cartoon, he plugged Rusty in and he used him as a laser. In regards to his right arm, so right here on the fist, there's a panel. You open that up and it exposes the little gun inside. And the arm itself pops open like this, so you can see the machine gun inside. It's unfortunate. In the cartoon, it looked a little bit better. Just because the toy has limited mobility. So posing that arm open like that, it just doesn't look nothing nice. If you could swivel the arm with the hand facing down, that's how it looks like in the cartoon. It probably would have been better. Okay, in regards to the cockpit, what we're going to do, we're going to come back here, take this part right here, we're going to flip it up. That is what locks the door in place. And then we can fold this down. You can see there's the chair that the pilot sits into, that Dwayne sits in. And we can actually open up the sides as well, exposing more of the cockpit. See if we can get a good look in there before we get the figure in, just so you can see all the detailing that went in to making this cockpit. So we have the seat, we have all these levers in here, which obviously don't do anything for the toy, but it's nice that they put all that work into it. And I don't know if you can see it, but we have this part right here, the swivel side to side, and it actually has a screen attached to it, like a targeting screen. So just nice little added effect there. So let's go ahead and get Dwayne installed. So Dwayne has a hole here in his back, and there's a peg in the seat, so we don't need to worry about him falling out. I'm gonna sit him down, pop his knees down, and then we can close up the sides. Actually, let's pop him up and then start closing up the sides. get everything to fit into place. And then we can just put this back down. So this is how I'm going to be posing or displaying Big Guy on the shelf. So again, in regards to Rusty, it is unfortunate that you can't really pose him because I can't stand him up next to the Big Guy. I'm just going to have to lay him down like that. So that's unfortunate. But all in all, I loved this toy when it came out back around circa 2000. And I love it again now. I'm so glad that I got this guy back. If you find yourself in the market to get one, jump up on eBay. I'm not going to tell you how much I spent on this one because my wife does watch these videos and she'd probably kill me. But I can let you know that there's a couple sellers on eBay that have him priced in the package for about $200, if not a little bit more. And I just want to let you know, if you're not familiar with these toys at all, that as awesome as he is not worth $200. So if you want him, just keep an eye open, wait for somebody else to list it. You can probably get it for maybe around $50. So that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to comment, like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, we'll talk to you later.